I'm your announcer, Jim Pollard, and now the host of Nightique, a man who refuses to run for public office, Edward St.
I am not running.
He's not a candidate. Edward St. Pay.
Thank you, Jim Pollard, for that fine introduction. I am Edward St. Pay, and I am your host of Nightique. Now, we try to bring the folks around the state the latest news from the capital city, and if you've been following the big story, we've got the mayor and the city council of Jackson really almost coming to fisticuffs over this contract to remove the sewage sludge from the city. It's a big mess, if you will, and they cannot get together on who's going to get the contract. A lot of bad PR has come out of this story. Well, in an attempt to rectify the situation, at least from a PR standpoint, the Public Relations Department of the City of Jackson came up with a new mascot for the city, Winnie the Pooh. Skippy Peanut Butter has recalled a lot of its product because they found metal shavings in the peanut butter. The marketing department originally tried to spin it positively, now fortified with extra minerals. And of course, Spectre, the James Bond movie, is now in theaters. James Bond has a woman in one hand and a gun in the other. Actually, he's not a spy, he's an NFL player. Speaking of the NFL, in the big loss to the Panthers, Green Bay quarterback Aaron Rodgers threw his Microsoft Surface tablet to the ground. The funny thing was it actually worked better after he threw it to the ground. Okay, in one final bit of national news, if you remember the other day, the Navy fired a missile off the coast of Southern California. It was during the night, Saturday night, and it was so bright, all of LA thought it was a UFO. It was either that or Charlie Sheen was walking around without his toupee again. Well, speaking of entertainment, we've got Mr. Kern Pratt with us. He is a great blues guitarist. He's from the Greenville area. He's got a new album out. He's performing around our area in festivals, and he's got a planned tour to Europe coming up soon. So sit back and we'll meet Mr. Kern Pratt after these messages.
We'll be right back with more of Nightique after these messages.
This is our Gray's Box. It's a great way to snack. Fresh, tasty, and created using only the best ingredients. Choose from our range of over 90 delicious snacks. We'd like to invite you to try a hand-picked box for free. Go to grays.com and we'll send a free box directly to your office or home. It may even help you keep your hand out of the cookie jar.
Go to grays.com and enter the code GRAYS34 for a free box.
Grays.com. Snacking reinvented.
Ingalls Shipbuilding has pioneered the development and production of technologically advanced, highly capable warships for the U.S. Navy, Coast Guard, and Marine Corps for more than 75 years. Ingalls is Mississippi's largest manufacturing employer. And today, Ingalls has an immediate need for more than 200 electricians at our Pascagoula, Mississippi site. Apply today at www.buildyourcareer.com or call 888-935-1507.
And now back to more Nightique.
Well, we'd like to welcome Kern Pratt. Welcome to the show, Kern.
It's good to be here.
Now, you are a blues artist and sort of a fusion of blues and rock, right?
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to describe it.
And, you know, we've had a number of great musicians on the air, and you're going to play for us on the show.
Yeah.
You're going to showcase guitar by yourself, no band, just you and your guitar, which I think would be interesting to see.
It's a little bit different than what I usually do.
Now, I was a judge for an event recently. I guess some bands that were competing or chosen to go to the Mississippi, or the Memphis Blues Challenge. That's
yeah,
what
it's
it was.
International Blues
Challenge. And you were one of the bands up there in the process of going up there. Tell us your story. You've been playing a long time.
Yeah, since I was about 7. And I, kind of grew up in the Mississippi Delta in Greenville, and started playing out on the road when I was, with, first bands and about 12, 13 years old, and it kind of got a little bit, crazier after that when I was on the road with Hamilton, Joe Frank, and Reynolds.
So you were a guitar player with that group?
Yes.
And they were a very famous group during those years.
Had several hits. Don't Pull Your Love back in 1971, Annabella, and then they had another album that, was a little bit different than stuff that I was playing at that time, but Joe Frank Carolus from Leland, Mississippi, and he was come out and see me play, and he asked me about playing and going to Las Vegas, and that seemed like a real good idea to me at the time, and it was a whole lot of fun.
So all these years you've been on the road. Now, recently you put out a new record. It's called Broken Chains. Kern, Pratt, Broken Chains. And tell us, you've had good success with this.
It's been real good. You know, my age, getting old, being 50, which I just turned not long ago. You know, we worked real hard on this. We had a really good team of people working on this, and I couldn't be any more happier. Than, you know, the album is done quite well. It came in #1 on the Roots Music Report on the album charts in Mississippi, and it's stayed in the top 10 for the last, let's see how many weeks here, 30 weeks.
So that means that's tracking sales and airplay?
I think it's just airplay.
Airplay. So you're getting airplay on the radio.
Yes.
And I guess there's a lot to do with the internet airplay too now these days, right?
That's one of the biggest things right now, and it's, you know, indie music, and that means, you know, independent record label, which I have. I have my own record label with my partner that does that, and it's one of the best things that an artist could ever have, because you have access to have to all the, you know, networking that you could possibly do, the same thing that the record companies used to do for artists, and, you know, basically it kind of puts it in the artist's hands.
It's kind of a different world, isn't it?
It's a whole different world than what used to happen back, say, 15, even 20 years ago. This was unheard of.
Well, Hamilton, Joe, Frank, and Reynolds, back in those days when you were playing with them, the record label was in control of everything. And these days, now the artist is in control of most, well, it could be, at least they can be in control of a lot of their own career choices, right?
You know, that's what's happening with a whole lot of these artists right now. I mean, ones that are really big right now. Mr. Sip, you know, he's with Malaco, but he also, incidentally, I'm, you know, with his company, Music for You Entertainment, with Kimberly Horton right now, which has Dexter Allen and Frederick Robinson, who we played with at the IBC competition here in Jackson, who is going to Memphis for the national and international IBCs. There's Chris Gill, DeMar Gill. I mean, it's a lot of people are doing this as independents, and it's one of the best things for musicians, especially American roots.
And that's where you're fitting in, right?
Exactly that. And, you know, also that same group of people that I just said are all up for a being considered for a Grammy nomination right now, and that's one of the things I definitely did not ever expect to happen.
So tell us about that. How does one get nominated?
Well, there's certain criteria for it. We went to a meeting in Baton Rouge with a guy named Johnny Palisotto that was, you know, I had met and got to know through friends. And we got Denise Owen and I, who works with me, and she's my singing partner, and you met her that night. And other things, she probably would, you know, I think you figured that one out. But
she's your girlfriend.
Yeah, that would be, yeah. That's, sometimes she gets a little bit mad about that, you know. So that's a singing partner first.
Right.
Right. Anyway, we got invited to a meeting in Baton Rouge, and it was Reed Wick, who is the president of the NARAS chapter. They call it the National Recording Academy now, but it's NARAS, and that's how you get invited. You have the criteria. And we got invited to be part of NARAS, and that way they consider you for a nomination for those. And these are the same Grammys that you see on TV. You just never see, you know, all the other stuff that goes on behind the scenes of that.
Right.
So
that's very exciting. Now, what would that be as a career boost for a career? I mean, if you do win a Grammy, or
just getting nominated, just being asked to be considered is, you know, something I never even imagined in my wildest dreams.
It's a big thing. Now, I saw you perform at this competition, and I'm sure you have videos up on YouTube if the public out there would like to see you with your guitar. You remind me of Johnny Winters, because when I grew up, Johnny Winters was, you know, of course, probably at his prime, and also it kind of sounded like Stevie Ray Vaughan, that kind of a vibe going on there. That's kind of where you're at, somewhere in there, right?
There were a whole lot of influences. There was, you know, a lot of rock influences from that era that I really just latched on to. Johnny Winter, especially being one of them. Being from Leland, Mississippi, and you know, and being able to see him back in the late '70s and early '80s at the festivals was really, really cool. I got to meet him a couple of times, and you know, it was just, he just hit me. I just loved it.
You know, I mean, if you were like at least my age, you growing up, I mean, the guitar gods of those days, they were, you know, they were doing rock, but a fusion of rock and blues. you know, but that's what they did. I mean, and that's kind of exactly what that's what I thought of when I saw you perform.
That's a very good compliment.
That's a good compliment. Right. So if on the YouTube channel, if somebody wanted to see you and your group out there with you and your guitar,
there's
how
some
do they?
Stuff with the yeah.
Is Google or YouTube your name? Do a search.
Yeah,
Kern
correct.
Pratt?
Yeah, you can see a whole. There's a lot of stuff from the CD that's on there. There's different shows from the Juke Joint Festival in Clarksdale and several. We just did the Mighty Mississippi Music Festival.
And you have a website, right?
Yes, it's kernpratt.com.
And do you have videos on there of you playing?
I do.
Good.
And there's
an easy way to
music,
go.
there's everything that's happening. We keep it updated with all the shows. Incidentally, we have a pretty big show coming up next Friday night on the 20th at Howlett Mouse. We're playing with Mason Ruffner, and Mason is probably one of my favorite guitar players. I used to go see him on Bourbon Street at the old Absentine House years ago, and I guess I was about 81. My sister lives on the West Bank, so I'd always go down and I'd tape her on over to Bourbon Street. Right. And he's got Rick Derringer produced his first album. Wow. It was also from Johnny Winter's group.
Oh, yeah.
It all kind of
I was thinking of Rick Derringer the other day. You know, I heard "Hang On, Sloopy," and you know, a lot of folks don't realize, but that group, the singer of that song, that was Rick Derringer.
And he cut his teeth right after that with Johnny Winter. I've got 4 different albums with him on it.
Giant rock star, through the years with his own band and everything else. But it's really a really interesting story because he goes way back. I mean, that song, "Hang On, Sloopy" is a really old one.
That was 60, I think 67 or 68. I'm pretty sure.
So, and I was listening to him sing. As I was listening to the song, I was thinking, and he would go into a guitar ride too, even on that song. But I was listening to him sing. Man, he had a great voice.
Oh yeah, he's one of my favorites too.
Yeah, he's great. Out of that whole group. Okay, you're gonna play a couple songs for us when we come back.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. Well, Kern Pratt will be with us with a in-studio performance after these messages. Stay tuned.
We'll be right back with more of Nightique after these messages.
This is our Gray's Box. It's a great way to snack. Fresh, tasty, and created using only the best ingredients. Choose from our range of over 90 delicious snacks. We'd like to invite you to try a hand-picked box for free. Go to grays.com and we'll send a free box directly to your office or home. It may even help you keep your hand out of the cookie jar.
Go to grays.com and enter the code GRAYS34 for a free box.
Grays.com. Snacking. Reinvented.
Ingalls Shipbuilding has pioneered the development and production of technologically advanced, highly capable warships for the U.S. Navy, Coast Guard, and Marine Corps for more than 75 years. Ingalls is Mississippi's largest manufacturing employer. And today, Ingalls has an immediate need for more than 200 electricians at our Pascagoula, Mississippi site. Apply today at www.buildyourcareer.com or call 888-935-1507.
Important news for women using birth control medications and devices. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with a pseudotumor after using one of these birth control drugs or devices, you may be eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Contact the law firm of Davis & Crump right now if you or a loved one have used one of these birth control medications or devices and were diagnosed with a pseudotumor to see if you are eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Call now. Operators are standing by.
When you are looking to further your education, there's only one university that towers above the rest, Jackson State University. Jackson State University is one of the leading universities in research, technology, and innovation, graduating more than 1,300 students annually and a consistent growth in revenue. Jackson State University is ranked #1 amongst the HBCUs in research and development. Make the right choice, the one choice. One Jackson State University, changing lives one student at a time.
And now back to more Nightique.
Lord, the bell has tolled. My baby took that train and gone. Bell has tolled, child. My baby took that train and gone. See, it's all my fault. Must have did somebody wrong. Everything that happens, babe, you know I am to blame. Everything that happens, babe, you know I am to blame. Gonna find me a doctor to ease my suffering pain. Always told me, son, these days are sure to come. Mama always told me, child, these days are sure to come. Well, I didn't listen, baby, to have myself some fun. Oh, the bell last tolled. My baby took that train and gone. Oh, bell last tolled, child. My baby took that train and gone. See, it's all my fault. Must have did somebody wrong. Well, it's all my fault. Lord, must have did somebody wrong. Oh, yeah. You said hurting, lose your mind. That man you love hurt you all the time. When things go wrong, so wrong with you, it hurts me too. You're loving another, honey, I love you. So you loving him, stick to him like glue. When things go wrong, so wrong with you, it hurts me too. Loving him more, you love him less. Stop cleaning up around him, taking all his mess. When things go wrong, so wrong with you, it hurts me too. Said you better leave him, gonna put you down. I can't stand to see him push you around. Things go wrong, so wrong with you, it hurts me too. When things go wrong, so wrong with you, Lord. Lord, it hurts me too. Somewhere south of Memphis, like face down in the rain, there's a husband husband and a father who no longer feels the pain. Shot down by a man he didn't see or didn't know. For 13 silver dollars he lays cold. In a church out by the levee, standing silent by a grave, there's a mother and a child trying hard to be brave. Taken from the man they love, not a penny to their names. Nothing from their own will be the same. And you might try to explain, no one understands. You might try to justify, no one can. You might run, but you can't hide from this never-ending fear. You might pray if you think someone is. Somewhere down on Nelson Street, a hooker does a John. She closes her eyes, make a living for her son. Now, does not beat her much, but it threatens and demands. He claims once, even killed a man. You might try to explain, no one understands. You might try to justify, no one can. You might run, but you can't hide from this never-ending fear. But you might pray if you think someone is. You might try to explain, no one understands. You might try to justify, no one can. You might run, but you can't hide from this never-ending fear. But you might pray if you think someone is. Said you might pray if you think someone is. Lord, they hear.
We'll be right back with more of Nightique after these messages.
This is our Gray's Box. It's a great way to snack. Fresh, tasty, and created using only the best ingredients. Choose from our range of over 90 delicious snacks. We'd like to invite you to try a hand-picked box for free. Go to grays.com and we'll send a free box directly to your office or home. It may even help you keep your hand out of the cookie jar.
Go to grays.com and enter the code GRAYS34 for a free box.
Grays.com. Snacking reinvented.
This is important news for women using birth control medications and devices. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with a pseudotumor after using one of these birth control drugs or devices, you may be eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Contact the law firm of Davis & Crump right now if you or a loved one have used one of these birth control medications or devices and were diagnosed with a pseudotumor to see if you are eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Call now. Operators are standing by.
Ingalls Shipbuilding has pioneered the development and production of technologically advanced, highly capable warships for the U.S. Navy, Coast Guard, and Marine Corps for more than 75 years. Ingalls is Mississippi's largest manufacturing employer, and today Ingalls has an immediate need for more than 200 electricians at our Pascagoula, Mississippi site. Apply today at www.buildyourcareer.com or call 888-935-1507.
And now back to more Nightique.
And playing without your band, how did that feel? Was it? Did it feel different?
Well, yeah, a little bit. And the main thing was I'm not used to being up this early in the morning.
Well, because you play at night, most concerts are at night, such as that, right?
You know, yeah, we usually play at night. I mean, if I get up this early in the morning, and well, that's afternoon for y'all, but it's morning for me.
Yeah. So, what are your plans? What's up career-wise for Mr. Kern Pratt?
We, like I said, we are working with Music for You Entertainment right out here in Jackson, Kimberly Horton, and that's also Castro, the Mississippi Blues Child is his company, and there's several, really great artists on this, and I'm real proud and honored to be with them. And we're looking at some things in 2016. There's a possibility we're going to be going to Belgium. Right now we've got some things that are already booked, and we're hoping we're going to be able to do that. We're looking at festivals that were already booked, Mississippi Delta Blues Festival, some stuff that we've already done, and we're looking at other ones around the United States, and hopefully we'll get to go overseas and do some stuff over there. And
now I want to mention your record. This is called Broken Chains, and Broken Chains, I would imagine, available through any of the online destinations, right?
Exactly, yeah. You can go to CD Baby, you can go to iTunes, there's Amazon, you can Google my name, go to Broken Chains, you can go to my website.
How is Amazon with record distribution? Is it good?
We have had some good record sales through there, lately. We're also at the Louisiana Music Factory, which is a really, really cool
Right
place.
in the corner there?
Yeah, right over on Frenchman Street.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's one of the greatest music stores still left in the world, probably.
It's one of the last ones. It's like it is.
Yeah.
You can do online stuff there and everything, but
they've got such good stuff. I mean, they got stuff you couldn't find anywhere else. I guess it's hard to find stuff.
There's something that happens to Alan Toussaint. I found out he died.
I know. I just heard today that he died. He was in Spain doing a concert. Yeah, he died, I guess, while he was in Spain.
I just had one of my friends, Luke Borms from Belgium, that did Catfish and Cotton, and he played on my CD, as a matter of fact. That first song I did, he played harp on that. And that was one of the only acoustic songs on the album we did, and they tricked me, I think, at that. But he was going to see Alan Toussaint there in Belgium coming up next week.
Wow.
And so it's, everybody's kind of sad about that.
Listen, we want to wish you good luck with everything, and please keep us in mind as you hit the big time and move on to some of these great things coming up. Remember, we want you to have you back on the show.
I'll be glad.
You got to remember us over here at Nightique, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Kern. That's Kern Pratt. Thank you, folks, and see you next time on Nightique.
Join us every weeknight statewide for Nightique with Edward St. Pé. If you have suggestions for guests or want to be on the show yourself, drop us a line at www.nightique.com. I'm your announcer, Jim Pollard. Good night from all of us at Nightique.